Okay, hello everybody, and this is Son of One. Thank you. I don't see anybody yet, so maybe we can, hopefully they have time to come visit me tonight, or it's going to be a real short video, live. So let's hope and pray that they make it. Okay, well, things have been rough lately. We rode out, I guess I can say, the edge of the hurricane, Helena, skirted by where we were at. Got quite a bit of rain. Feel sorry for the people who were in the path of that storm. Pray that everybody be relocated and help to resituate. Hey, Jack and Danae, how y'all doing tonight? I was starting to wonder if somebody would even come in. We skirted that hurricane and did pretty good. Hey, Richard. So, I mean, things have been going pretty good. It was a little windy and rainy for us out here for that hurricane, but they just shared me on Facebook. Who'd you share me with? I'm trying to be funny, guys. It's been a little bit. I feel for some of the people who were in the way of that storm. I don't know how many people, bee colonies, locations, but you know, through Georgia and part of the Florida area there. I hope they're fine. So I am hoping that they made it through well. Like I said, all we got was wind and rain. I picked a few limbs up out in my yard. It wasn't nothing major. I was sort of worried because I kept telling everybody at first. What I do is I pull up the NOAA and I see where the storms are at. If you click that same picture that shows where the locations of the storms are, you click it. It shows a I guess the cloud formations, and usually the way the clouds form, a high will create a ridge. You'll see where the clouds will roll up, and it's the jet stream and the high that's available there. And hurricanes are low; it follows the high. So as it shifts, you'll notice how the hurricane will shift with it. Yeah, the no-lifers. That's about it, really. I say I'm a no-lifer, but I've got too much stuff going on all the time. I can't always get up here on the live, and I'm sorry about that, guys. But hey, Mike, how you doing? Larimore yesterday texted me, asked how I was doing through that storm. Had fared through the storm. I did all right. Now, what I don't understand about this storm, though, is it dumped a lot of water up north and flooded a lot of people out, more than I thought. I anticipated, actually. Yeah, I'm here now. I wish I was more regular with it. That's why I try to show up on Tim and Hannah's at least, so people still remember what I look like. Hey, Grayson, how you doing today? So what I'm gonna do here, I think I can do is I put my pin it up there. Maybe one of y'all might be inclined to join me today instead of me just rambling around. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to talk about other than the fact that I'm down to 16 hives now. The wax moths have been finding all my weak ones and then tearing the hive up. So, and I thought they were all pretty healthy. So it's sort of setting me back, trying to figure out what these what's going on a little bit. So I'm still maintaining. I mean, uh, I can't call what's happened with my. Uh, well, I can't. I don't know. It could be my fault. It may not be. I don't know. I stuck the link in there, so if anybody would like to jump on, hey Bruce, what's up? How'd you make it through the storm? Uh, I know you had a lot of highs. I know we weren't hit directly or anything, but I was wondering how your girls made it. uh, just checking in, letting everybody know I'm still alive. And apparently Bruce is too here. He's not far from me. Um, Wondering how Lisa did, Granny Midwife's bees, how she fared it. I'm hoping all he got was maybe a few limbs drop in his yard like I did, Bruce. Yeah, I figured probably as much with the you weren't far from me. There wasn't many problems. Maybe bruised limbs and stuff in the yard. But, I'd like to know what happened with a couple of the people out there that are in through the Georgia area and in South Carolina and up north that direction. See how they are doing because I think Spanky they were in North Carolina and I don't know exactly where uh, the horizontal bees is at exactly. I know you got Bob Benny in Georgia. You have a bunch of people up that way. 9 Bucket 5 Hive, huh? Bug Farmer, yeah, that's another one. I hadn't seen him lately. Yeah, he is. He's up there, 10.10.5 inches of rain. I bet you he's slopping through some water. All his bees though are pretty well up out the water. They're over 10 inches at least, from what I've seen in his videos. So I hope, but he's also set them in a bunch of pine trees out there. So no telling what happened. They took the brunt going through Georgia there and Tallahassee and everything. We got another one we got to look forward to. They're talking about one developing in the Gulf. I don't know much about that one, but I know I've been looking at Janet out there, and Janet seems like she has a ways to travel, so she has time to build. I'm just hoping it's not another one like Katrina or uh, got the other one, Andrew. I lived through Andrew. I lived through Hugo, Andrew. Um, I walked home in Andrew, not Andrew, but Hugo. I walked home in Hugo, and I lived in Sumter, South Carolina, and it made landfall in Charleston. Our town was the second hardest hit in the state, and I walked home in it. I actually watched a tornado touch down, skip through the yard, and destroy my trailer I was living in at the time. So I've lived through quite a bit of natural disasters. I wouldn't say I've lived through. I have never been through a flood. I've been near one, but I've never lived through it. I've never mudslides, avalanches. Been a few I haven't, but most of them, I've been through earthquakes. I've been through. I wouldn't say big earthquakes, but I've been through earthquakes. 4.5. It's drier than the heart of a haystack there. Well, maybe they ship some of this water has been flooding people out to y'all. Might help. I saw a video today, which was sort of threw me for a loop because I saw when they went and started it. You're looking at the ground and it looks like a bunch of beach sand and some seaweed. And then they start walking across the living room, and it's almost to the top of the mantelpiece of their fireplace. And then the wall goes dividing the kitchen and the living room it's right above it, right above the sand. And then you look at the kitchen, you see the top of the island is barely, and then the top part of the stove. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! That place was underwater, literally. Don't send it frozen. Well, that's the only way it's gonna make the trip, Jack and Danae. Uh, send it to you frozen and let it melt in the heat. So anybody will decide they want to come on. I mean, I think I pinned it. Yeah, I pinned the link. So if anybody would like to join, they're welcome to, and share with me what's going on with their life. Or you don't like the 4-letter words? Yeah, the 4-letter words aren't the nicest. Not all of them, anyways. Well, work could be good, but also, yeah, snow. Work could be good, but it could also be bad. So where are you at, Richard? You said it sucks pretty good where you're right here. What's going on there? My wife kept asking me the other day, well, give Tim a call, check on them. I said, well, Tim is way out of the way from where we are at. So everybody got some rain. That's about it. Ohio, yeah. The remnants of that storm. Last I knew, were sitting right up over the Ohio Valley area, right in that. Well, were in that area. Still, it looks like a little bit lingering. I just pulled up the NOAA map. Like the moisture's hanging up that direction for you guys. So I'm pretty sure it isn't. Hopefully, it doesn't flood out like it did in the North Carolina and in some of those areas, because and a lot of that came from the moisture dropping in the hills and then filling up them rivers and causing them overflow. And just like if they had a big heavy snowstorm, and then all of a sudden it melts and comes down the hills, and it's going to overfill the banks and flood some places out. I really feel for those people right now because there's a lot of loss with that, with a flood. You huge cracks. And then that's the other thing in AIDS that helps that flooding mess too, is that the ground is so dry and the water comes too quick. It's not going to soak it up fast enough. And granted, don't get me wrong, it's going to soak it up, but it's going to take it a little while. So it just treats the surface like a dry riverbed, and it'll run down. Jack and Danae, I don't understand why you don't like snow. I like going to see snow. I don't like living in it. I spent a year and a half or so up in Minot, North Dakota, and it was minus 16 with negative 45 wind chill factor for most of the time. And the snow they had was all dry snow, but it wouldn't pack by hand. But they drove around the roads long enough that I guess some of it would melt and the more would stick to it, and just be layers of it on the roads. And they didn't always. The only thing that they did in Minot or in North Dakota, it seemed like in the main highways, always the outside lane was plowed and the inside lane was not. I found it funny too when we were leaving. We're going through, going out the east side of North Dakota. As soon as you hit the border into the next state, their roads were spotless. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, love the ice fish. I never got a chance to get out there to do that. I'd like to try that. Never got a chance. I always thought it was funny that ice fishing rods were smaller than the kids fishing rods. Yeah, and when it's wet, you got a lot of black ice. I get that, and because I stayed some time with my grandparents when I was a kid in Brookfield, Ohio, which is right outside of Youngstown, right on the border of Sharon, Pennsylvania. And always at that bottom of that hill, coming to Sharon, Pennsylvania, out of Brookfield, there's always a black ice at the bottom of that hill. You know what makes it even better if you're pulling a big one through the ice, Danae and Jack, is if you hadn't eaten nothing in a while and you pull it out, and then there's dinner. That makes it better. Out in Minot, they'd park. It looked like they were RVs designed to drop on the ice and make it a ice fishing house on the water. I saw a bunch of that, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I was like, I don't know. I mean, I was like, I didn't know about that one. That was sort of weird to see them pull, like a small RV out there, and then all of a sudden it dropped right onto the ice, and then they pop the opening in the bottom of it and cut their holes. And I thought it was interesting, but I was like, I don't know about all that weight on the ice. I can understand shuffling something out there that looked like a shed in your backyard with a wooden bottom on it. I'm surprised Grayson ain't tried to come on to visit with me. It's been a while since I talked with him. It'll hold a train. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I walked out there on the ice and stuff, and my wife's like, tried to take her out there, and she started hearing all the creaking and crunching on the ice, and she's like, and she ran back to the shore, and I kept walking out. I said, you got these cows out here. They cut a hole in the ice for the cows to drink water, and you're worried about your little body out there on the ice. Yeah, she wasn't sure about it. I walked out there. My son didn't like it either. It's amazing how much weight that ice will hold. Yeah, the first time I ever went on a frozen lake was in I think 1977. We were in Minot, not Minot, but K Town, Germany, and I was given a pair of ice skates for Christmas. We went to go skating on the lake, and I do know about the thin ice on the lake. I saw it, and that is a little scary, especially when you're skating around with skates on your feet. This is ice broodies and that's funny. Uh, yeah, yeah, I've been through where Also, too, like in some of the rivers, you have ice that dams up in certain areas, and I think it's funny. I thought it was funny when I was a kid taking I guess it was a 2x2 block, and it was designed as a firework, and it's wrapped in twine, and it's got a waterproof fuse. Taking light that up, slide it across the water, but it got the leak. It drop off into the weak spot of the water, and then blow up. I used to love doing that. Doing Brody's in a motorhome, huh? So I take it you guys got one of those ice fishing houses that go on the water, be on the water, on the lake when it's frozen. It might be interesting to come visit y'all in the winter. Maybe I could go ice fishing. But I know now this time of year we're gonna start getting cooler days. Nights are starting to get shorter, and the bees are getting a little testier. So that's where we're at right now, man. Lost a few people here, so somebody give me something to talk about tonight, man. The hurricane's been the only subject for a while. Uh, so that's what we've been facing and dealing with. The wasps. I've started noticing right before the hurricane started to come in, the wasps started picking up around here too. I think they were trying to relocate too from the coast to keep themselves going. I've been seeing a bunch of mud daubers trying to get into the hives too. I haven't started feeding yet. Haven't like I've left enough honey in the hives right for a while, so I'm not too worried about feeding them. And that might be part of the problem why I've had issue with the wax moths too. I didn't think about that. Is that I've left honey in the hive, and anybody says they don't mess with the honey are crazy because the bees, if they feel overwhelmed in it, they're going to try to take all they can out of the hive before they abscond. But they have tore up some wax foundation that was just just honey as well as brood, and they've also tore up a bunch of. They didn't do a lot of it, but they have some of it was bee bread, which was interesting. They didn't take it all out, but they ate down to like just above the surface of the foundation. Um, I've been, I know that they've been bringing in because I've had cotton fields they pulled from, so I haven't gone out to pull anything off of them, but I'm sure. Oh, that's a good question, Richard. How many people that are getting packages are seeing wing virus? I don't know. I've not even looked into it. Has that been something you ran into, Richard, really recently? But usually, some of that sort of straightens itself out if you got a stronger hive. It starts working its way out of it, you know, out of the hive. I've also heard putting antibiotics in, but feeding something too many antibiotics too also causes a counteraction. Huh? That'd be something I'd look into, man. A little better. Check somewhere else to go and get some of your stock from. I don't understand that. I mean, sound like packages are having a problem this year. That's what packages are like trying to catch a swarm, basically. And when you catch a swarm, they got to do all that all the building up again. But um, deformed wing virus is it's a virus, so um, don't know which queen it came from. The queen they shipped it with, or the queen that the bees were shook from, would be a question. Was the viral load too high on what they shook out of, or was the queen? Is the queen the reason for it? Because how long after you got that, Richard, did you start noticing deformed wing virus? And if it's a new brood with no comb and nothing else, so it wasn't transmitted with well, it could have got mites in it. I hate you saying that word, but in your shipment. Uh, but if it was you right off the rip after you notice it after you put them into the box, they already had it, or if it's been after a period of time, it could be the queen carrying a viral load or something. Because usually the queen doesn't. Usually the queen isn't the same queen that they were reared with. So I wouldn't count it out. That'd be the things I'd look at, actually, Richard. Um, I wouldn't call myself an expert by no means. I'm not. X has been, spurts drip under pressure. I'm neither one. So well, usually what they've been saying is that if you have a high M count, that there's a potential for a viral load to be in the mix, because they supposedly feed on the hemolymph, causing reduction of in their ability to fight the virus, and that if it was introduced somehow, that viral load can become big. And a lot of people said once they've treated, knocked them down, fed them with some antibiotics, that it starts turning around. I'd almost say that's probably a question you can ask Bob Benny, because he has. I don't know if he's had wing virus problems, but there's been other viral loads I'm sure he's dealt with. Um, Ian would probably be another way to look, because he does, even though he's in Canada, I'm sure he deals with a lot of the same things we deal with, just a different time of year. So those would be the directions I would actually look, and see what they would say, as far as that goes. Um, but my concept of thought would be is if it's in a viral load in the queen that was relocated with that package, and it started appearing after the fact you put the package together into a box, and you started noticing it, or if you were looking in that package and you saw wing virus on the bees already before you put them in the box, what direction it came from? Was the queen that one of the queens that shook the bees off of, or if it was from the queen bee herself? And I'm sure that when she lays her eggs, if she has a viral load, She lays the eggs, it's still transmitted until that's cleared up. That virus is cleared up. Would be my thought. It's an assumption. It's like if you get a virus, you go out in public, you talk to different people, you pass that viral load around till it's gone from you. It's the same print. I would be the same principle. The way I would think about it is that it comes through the contact. Now the bees that were in that cage didn't have it, and the queen did. And when she starts laying eggs, within 3 weeks, she started noticing deformed wing. Yeah, that's what I would look at. How long it took. Was it as soon as you took them out the package and put them in the box? It's like 2 days later, oh, we got some bees that got some deformed wings. It's not soon enough for it from a queen. Because the queen, they got to pull the wax, they got to lay the eggs, and then they got to hatch. I mean, there's all that scenario. You're to where you might track where it stems from, what side of the factor is what I would look at, what I think about. If I had wing virus the day after, well, there's no new eggs, so it had to come in on the packaged bees. Even though the queen is with the packaged bees, she's still separated at the moment, and they've been feeding her. So that's probably part of the transmission there, but it wouldn't be that soon you'd see a deformed wing. It's usually right after they hatch, that he starts noticing them as their wings start to dry out. Is what I would think. If I'm wrong, someone let me know my line of reasoning. Hey, now, Jack and Danae, you said you got it from Colorado this year. You haven't had great luck with the packages. Would that deal with? Well, I don't know if you want to say a vendor or not. I don't know if we want to do that because if somebody else watches this later on, it would cause a problem, or could, if you haven't talked with the vendor themselves directly. But I don't know how reputable the vendor is either, so there's not a lot for me to say to that effect. If I feel bad, even though I'm not a reputable vendor, I feel bad that I sent somebody some packages. They had mites, overload of mites, and deformed wing problem, virus issues. That would be something that would irk me really bad. If I got it, two, I'd feel bad if I gave it to somebody. I'd feel obligated to make it right. Ooh, that's a tough one there. I wonder if I noticed that the truckload was sick or half dead. I wouldn't even touch them packages. Yeah, and that's a funny thing about that too, Richard, is that I have found that a lot of the swarms I've gotten have been fairly healthy. I haven't seen too many issues out of them. Uh, yeah, I would quit using the same those people, Jack and Danae. Um, and I don't know how many you usually end up at the end of winter as far as boxes, but the I haven't bought any from anybody, any bees from anybody. I've actually had all mine have came from two swarms I caught almost 4 years ago in my yard, and I've had some fly. I don't know if they've come. The ones that have been in my yard after that fact were actually. I feel that they were from my hives because I don't keep up with them as much as I should all the time, and it's possible that yeah. That's what I was going to suggest, Jack and Danae, was that if you're getting it from Colorado, I would talk to Brian. It seems like he cares and he tries to meet, you know, what he would want. He pays very close attention to details. Yeah, I'd imagine so. And then the fact too is, if you're in Colorado, he's in Colorado, or near Colorado, you're near Colorado, he's in Colorado. It's closer than probably Georgia. I'm closer to Georgia. I mean, I'm 45 minutes from going across the border into Georgia from where I'm at, and I'm 45 minutes from Florida, so I can get them either direction. But either direction, according to Alabama law, I'd have to bring back a package because they don't allow my comb over or their comb over the border. So I couldn't bring back. Well, I could, but if they're reputable, they wouldn't allow me to. So I wouldn't be bringing any. And here we go back into what we talked about with a while back with Tim and Hannah. Some of the viral, if you had the viral load, could have been in the comb. You could have picked it up from something else, another hive. Put that comb in there, unless you're making them make new comb. Now, bringing new comb in is always going to be your best bet because it's them who are making it. Doesn't mean it's not going to be chemically saturated, but the newer the comb is, the less you're going to have issues with. So that's what I would keep an eye on and mind on. And that's good, Jack and A. That they're going into winter rocking. The better they are going in, the better they are coming out. So right now, like I said, I'm down. I'm down a few hives this year, and it's the first time I have actually lost in a 3-year period, and I feel dejected. I feel bad about it, but if you look at the statistics, Dunning Kruger. Hey, David. I'm basically in the Dunning Kruger curve area, and I think that's where I'm suffering at right at the moment. Is that I don't know everything about bees. I never claimed to, but I have been very, I can say, very lucky with the way I've dealt with them and looked at them, taken care of them. That I'm able to look at it from multiple angles, try to figure things out. Yeah, that's bad, Danae. Uh, I wouldn't think anybody would send a package without food because everything I've ever seen online or talked to people about have always had uh, some sort of food syrup on them. Yeah, and I never, like I said, I can't speak 100% to packages or nukes because I've never bought any of them. I've taken bees from the wild. I've actually thought about buying some queens, making splits, and seeing how that works and how they work out. So I can find out what's running better in my yard. Actually, there's one group, my holly group, the group of those bees. They are prolific, and they work fast and they work hard. Now I do have a question about one of the swarms I caught this year, because she was awfully dark. I don't know where she came from. I don't know if she came from my hive, but it could be genetics the queen picked up and when they created her, that queen. Yeah, I think the ones this year I had, but I've also got 1, 2, 3, I think 4 other beekeepers within 2 to 7 miles from where I'm at. So it's possible some of them are from other people, but I'm pretty sure this year all the ones I tried to catch and I lost were out of my yard. Well, as a matter of fact, I do know one that left my yard completely. Got 2 of them. I do know for a fact. It's only the 4th year at this, Jack and May. Well, this spring will start my 4th year, and we'll see what we have. Where I'm at, in January, I'll start looking to see if I start seeing some mature drones. If I start seeing mature drones, I'm gonna start splitting again and see where we go from there. I can imagine you guys have your hands full. You bought a commercial bee business. Oh, it's Jack's 4th year and Danae's 1st. Well, uh, I wish y'all luck, man. I wish I could have had my hands on something like that, or at least had an apiary full of bees like that. Not much I can do with half an acre. So, are you still migratory, or do you plan on staying sedentary? You know, because yeah, I'm sedentary. I do the migrating around probably. What I end up doing. Oh, so you purchase a lot of equipment. Yeah. My for what it's worth, my opinion is that if you're going to be selling the honey, if you're going to be selling some of the products, uh, you can make money at it locally. Being that you only deal with it locally, maybe ship some stuff out from time to time. But I'm not saying you can't do it long distance for a lot, or get a big business like that. But then I think that takes away from your local flavor, your local feel. I'm not saying don't become big. Be big if you want to be big. But I just like the local feel. It's a niche. Um, I think people enjoy that. Even local, that locally people enjoy it better. You know, they know where it came from. They get to learn the person they get it from. Uh, it's not this. Well, I must go to Walmart and buy it. I think that's what's wrong with America today. Yeah, and he's doing pollination. That's probably where he's making some bank at. They're doing the pollination. And that's what I found out that most people don't understand about honey is that they don't realize that the way I collect it, I don't collect it. I don't wait till a certain time and collect it all. I collect through the season, so that way I have honey throughout the season, but the flavors change. They're not all blended. Now, each flavor does have a blended flavor because of what the floral sources are. And that's what I think is so good about it is that I can say I got this in spring. This is how it tastes. I got this in early summer. This is what this tastes like. Or if I get some in fall, I said, okay, so I get some in fall, and this is what it tastes like. Last year was like that. This year I'm not doing so well as far as honey goes, and I'm fighting some certain issues, and that's what's bugging me, and yeah, bugging me. I wouldn't mind doing that, Jack in the name. Uh, actually, I actually get, believe it or not, I get whipped honey early in the season because sometimes the stuff that they collect will start to crystallize when I bring it into the house. Now, if I leave it outside, it sort of stays just shy of crystallization. And I think that had a lot to do with the holly that they pull during the summer, and which gives it is a unique flavor. They pull when the holly bush is in full bloom, they'll nail it, and that's for some reason that stuff seems to want to crystallize really early, uh, so that I'm able to make some whipped honey earlier in the season. Keep it in the house, keep it in a cooler area, and it'll sit nicely. Well, no, I mean even sitting in the bucket. Like if I was sitting in a bucket in my carport, it'll stay short of being crystallized because of the warmth outside. But if I go and bring it into the house, store it in the house, within 3 weeks, I can start making whipped honey. And I'm selling more whipped honey than I am anything else, especially especially my double berry. Yeah, it makes its own seed, and if you catch it early enough, it's still in small. Hey, Brian, I catch the seeds when it's a small grit, and you start making it sort of stays that way. Um, and it stays a lot smoother than if I let it sit and hard. I've tried some from hard and stuff. I've tried some from middle of the road where it was gritty to start off with, and it seemed like it never really got smooth with the way I'm doing it. So if I started early enough with the whipping, when it's a small crystal, it'll stay that way, and it actually stays to be a smooth product. Yeah, they were Brian. Your ears must have been burning, sir. They was talking about your packages and Colorado bees. And if you guys saw the post that I made earlier about going live tonight, and that picture that's in there, a friend of mine in California, I sent him two different pictures. I told him, well, they said, well, send me a picture of you. And I sent a picture for me. And then they said, well, what kind of artwork do you like? I said, well, this is something that I like. And I sent my logo. I said, this is my logo. And they ended up painting that picture. That's actually a painted picture of me in that, on that post I made. I just not in my possession at the moment, but they sent a picture of it to me. Yeah, you got a big old plug from Jack and Danae, Brian. They're talking about some other nukes. We're not gonna go too deep into that one, but that they got were either sickly or showing. And Richard was talking about deformed wing virus on packages, and I was asking him the time frame on that because if it was directly or not, or shortly after they were boxed. Try to figure that one out. But they said yours are booming, Brian. And no, I just thought I'd bring up what we were talking about, Jack and Danae, about what we were talking about, which brought his nukes up. And I told him that I thought I figured they'd be pretty good coming from you because your attention to detail and the type stuff you do, and that you well, to be polite, pretty near a perfectionist, I would say. I wouldn't. You may not think so, but some of the stuff you talk about and you go over, I would say you're pretty good, pretty close to being a perfectionist, or trying to be. Get it right, make sure it's right. What's a good attitude to have? I'm not knocking you, brother. Huh? That's interesting. Ooh, that's right. You guys are from Wyoming. That's right. I forgot about that. That's way out there. I imagine in their environment, Caucasians probably be great for them because they're in the mountains or near mountainous areas. Yeah, I say that. I was just joking about the perfectionist part, Brian. But yeah, your attention to detail is. I'm just hearing you talk and the stuff you've done and what you have shown us. Um, speech. Get off my leg, cat. Speaks to the fact of your attention to detail, and I appreciate that because it gives me something to look forward to. You want to say hello to Norman? You want to say hello to the live? Bubble gum, yeah. Way to go, Tim. You want to come in, Tim? I think the link is posted. We was talking about the storm and someone brought up deformed wing virus and bad packages and stuff. So and we're talking about good packages. So been going along pretty good. Kitty, kitty, kitty. This is the boy, Morris the cat, or Meow Mix cat. We got a female that's got long fur, looks just like him, but no, neither one of them are related. There's a shit, and they're all strays. Yeah, Brian, I'm glad you appreciate the compliments, but if I got something bad to say, I'll say it so you can hear me, and I'll repeat what I say if you don't hear me, if I say it. So I haven't had anything bad to say. So uh, Tim is finishing up his chores. Hopefully, his chores are putting that doggone dishwasher in. Now, Richard, what I was saying though, when the package come with some M's on them, and you have to do that to knock them down, I understand because you know, off the rip. But I don't think. Well, I guess they could be the viral vector too if they had them on there, and that's all that the mites had to feed on. Okay, called them out before he even got on the video today. Called Tim out on the washer or early. I mean, my whole question on a lot of stuff is that and don't I'm gonna tell you what, Jack and Danae, those things are not fun. I have been hit by one and it ain't fun. Taser don't bother me. I mean, you feel it, but I mean, cattle prod take you down. But what I was getting ready to say is that you know we gotta look at our comb, pay attention to it. Man, you guys getting each other before you in the box. Huh? Oh Lord. But I thought I needed to get out here, guys, to see you guys, talk to you again. I've actually been doing some avoidance as far as some of the videos right now because I've been aggravated doing research, aggravated with what I've been seeing in my yard. I mean, it's not dire or nothing like that. It's just you look at it and it's like, do I really want to do this today? Used to chase each other with one as a kids. They had one time a cattle. No, they wasn't a cattle prod. They had a cattle prod, but then they had one that they brought to work when I was working in the oil field. It looked like a flashlight, and well, it was a flashlight, but it had two prods on the end of it. That thing, I could not believe how that thing hurt, and then and it made as much noise as an actual cattle prod, but cattle prod hurt worse. So we are well, I'm getting a lot of bloom here for yellow goldenrod. There's still some cotton that's doing some blooming. I think it was late planted. There's some of it near us. So, but bees have been getting plenty of nectar and pollen. They're bringing it in. Yeah, that's probably where I'm at right at the moment. Is that because I've been overwhelmed with a lot of stuff and falling apart at the house, having to work hard, work all day, and then come home, and then it's been pretty warm here still. It's been in the 90s, and getting out there and wanting to sweat, you like tear the deck off my lawnmower, put a new belt and blades on it, and then go out there to look at the bees after you've been sweating or weed eating. I mean, it's just been one thing after the other, and then sometimes you have some needy people that, and then I have ministry I do on the weekends too. Sometimes go out to the bike clubs and visit those guys. I mean, it just gets to be a little too much. Yeah, and they are to me too. But I've been for the last 3 years. I haven't really had a full break from bees because the winter it's not really winter here. So they're always doing something. So I'm having to check on them, see how they're doing. When it's a warm day, I'm talking about like 60, 70 degrees. I go out and I look at them because there ain't nothing to do during the winter much. There's no cutting the grass. I'm not working underneath the house or with water. You know, so and it does, and it does make you feel real vitalized. It's just I haven't got in that mode right now for some reason. And I love my bees. I love to see them grow. I love the honey they produce. I love the stuff that we can do with them. I love everything about them. Just as right now, I've not actually been able to push myself out there too much. I've also had a couple of hives, was disappointing, that were eat up with wax moths. Yeah. Uh, well, the thing about this though too about videos is that the last 5 years I've been watching bee videos and doing research and looking into things, and that if you really want to watch a video about bees, you can always look to Australia to find videos when we are in our deep winter, because that's their spring and summer. Our fall and winter is their spring and summer. So right now we're headed into fall, so they should be starting to crank out some videos soon. Maybe if Tim and Hannah, when they get a chance to get on here, if they do before it gets too late, um, they might let us know how many more people sent in some boxes with their for their unofficial honey tasting. So I don't think y'all got a chance this year, to tell you the truth. I think I got it hands down. Now the only one whipped. I think the only one that's got some whipped honey that might beat me would be Brian. But Brian been doing it a while. I'm joking, guys. If I don't make top pig, I don't make a top pig. It all depends upon the taste of the individual, and You know, I say my honey's the best. Y'all say your honey's the best. It is. It's all come from. Oh, okay. They said they'll give us a sneak peek. All right. That's starting tomorrow. So this is preliminary warm up, guys. Yeah. Woo. Yep. I say woo too. Yeah. Maybe when shoot, I keep dropping people. They must get sick of my talking today. I'm going down, huh? Well, I probably could. Getting too big a head over here, right? You trying to say? uh, that's why the reason I had to send them so much honey this year too for this testing is because I felt bad about their first collection, Tim and Hannah's. That little jar they got, and that was it. And all the problems they've been having with the bees. I thought I was having problems, but they got me beat this year. I hear you. I hear you. uh, all you guys got to do is Google 263 bees, and Google will tell you my address and phone number, Jack and Danae. What, Richard? You ain't got no honey? You sell all of it, or you just having to buy more so you can sell more? And all my spring stuff is gone as far as honey goes. Now I'm still working on some of the summer stuff, and hopefully things go right tomorrow. I will be in my hives, and if I have some, I might have some comb honey. I might have some honey I can spin out off of one or two of the hives. Now you're starting to sound like DC, Richard. DC will produce a bunch of it, and he won't sell it. He'll eat it all. Now he does give some away too. Don't get me wrong, but I like seeing the people's faces when they taste the honeys. You know, I got the cinnamon. I got the apple pie. I've got what was it? I got pumpkin pie. I got apple cinnamon. I've got double berry, all blended. Those things during the holidays sell like hotcakes. So when I get a lot of crystallized honey, that's what. And the funny thing about the crystallized honey, though, is people say, "Well, the moisture's got to be high." My moisture's at 16, or 16.5, and I'm still getting crystallized honey, and it crystallizes fairly quick. So I don't know what all these bees are getting into. Yes, we're in Dothan, Jack and Danae. I listed 263Bees as a business name on Google a long time ago. Actually, back with something when I listened to something that what is his name? The guy who mentioned it now. But I haven't seen a whole lot of him lately online. I haven't been doing a lot of lives lately either. That's all I would do is watch YouTube and lives, and that ate a lot of my time up. And I think that's probably why I'm behind a lot of stuff right now. To tell you the truth. So that's where I'm at, guys. I mean, it's been a struggle this year. Hopefully next year it'll be better. And I'm not giving up. I occasionally want to, but I'm not going to. I'm hard-headed like that. I may not get far this year, but some of my problems have been equipment, availability. I guess some of the timing. So there's a couple things that are my fault. Because like I said, I'm not perfect. Is that Goodies or Goonies? Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Goonies never say die. I'm hard headed. I used to be the person who would pick a get rich quick scheme and try to run it, and it wouldn't work. I'm gonna keep with it until something else changed. Found out there is no get rich quick. Stupid autocorrect. Yeah, I love autocorrect too, especially when you're texting somebody and it doesn't come out right. Uh-oh, someone knocking at my door. There he is. There he is. He's waving. Come on in.
What are y'all doing?
You're doing all right.
Got the crooked there. I told her she didn't have the face set up right.
You gonna blame it on her head? Hey, look at the eyes roll at him.
I do that too. She blames it on me. Oh, I did. What y'all doing?
I'm not doing a whole lot. I've been rambling for like the last hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah.
But we were discussing earlier with Richard, and Richard was saying something about he had gotten some packages with deformed wing virus and stuff like that.
I bet you it was
yeah, well, that's hard to say in a package. That's hard to say in a package because I'm sure some of them get shipped with them. But what I was trying to say though about it is that I was thinking the timing. Look at the timing of it. When did you have them? As soon as after you put them in the box, you started having problems with deformed wing, or was it after the queen had long enough time to lay and then they come out. Was the queen the vector, or were the bees that were carrying the M's a vector for that virus in a weak colony that was shook off and sold?
I'm
That's
once we get past this youth and all that stuff. When we was coming home a minute ago, we caught a little piece of that, and I was like, oh no, they done stuck Ed with the virus. Done give him the M's. Then I'm picking y'all. I'm picking.
good.
But it did get me to thinking on about a little fly that nobody talks about anymore. You know, the fly that gets inside the colony and it creates similar issues like that, like the horn wing virus, and messes up the larvae and things along that lines. But nobody speaks about them anymore. But I was thinking, well, I'll dive into a little research and maybe we'll have that topic for the next later on
Yeah.
a little while.
Well, I can imagine that's not the only, is not the only factor in all of this stuff. There's other things, there's a lot of other stuff, but everybody points that direction, which gets me aggravated because I know there's more to it than that. Just like people say that the the drones, if a hive doesn't have any drones, it's not healthy. Well, and to a point, I do sort of believe some of that, but that drones don't do any. Drones have to provide something for the hive, regardless of what we know or not. So there's a lot of things we don't understand, don't see, don't catch. But there's a lot of factors that, and Loma Vista, yes, they do vector, but they have to be a whole lot of them for that to be a problem or on the hive long
I'm sorry.
enough. Yeah. Hey, Larimore.
Where we
All right,
going
what's
with
that? What was that, Tim?
I was just saying, Larry Moore was saying we got him confused in DC. He
Oh.
says it for the time, but actually we're in our normal chairs. But
We always switch chairs for our long, because I can't sit to my left that long. So I have to sit in his chair so I can lean to my right, and I can stand to sit there for long.
Well, I was about to say maybe the camera's turned around. You got the back camera going, which puts everything in reverse.
We're not that smart.
Well, I wasn't. The whole conversation wasn't about those critters. Is that we were talking about other things like the issues. I was talking about some of the issues I've had this year, checking to see if people were doing all right that were in areas that were affected by the hurricane. and we're not out the woods for hurricanes this year, I don't think.
no, yeah, probably could have sit further away from us. Usually. She don't like this part.
Scoot it back. I don't like the camera in my face.
Uh,
Can you hear me better than
they chirping about another one coming in. I don't know, between Louisiana and Florida again, sometime early part of next week. So keep your eyes open again.
Well, what they're talking about, I think it's a remnant of Noah, which was out of the Pacific, and it's coming in the moisture's condensed. They're thinking the moisture may condense with a storm that's in the lower, right below Cuba, right now. They're thinking that maybe those two can join and make some. I don't see it with what I'm reading as far as the low and high pressure systems. I don't see it now. Janice, it's out there. I would, Tim, buckle down, get things ready for Janice, because I think we're going to go for a ride.
I tell you, if that front that come through here the other day, if that thing would have stalled 12 hours, 24 hours at the most, then y'all for sure would have been in a bind. And, we'd have probably gotten a good run up too, but most definitely over toward y'all's way.
Yeah, that what happened is that the high pressure shifted it. I kept telling them that high pressure is going to. I kept telling my wife and them, I said, that high pressure is going to shift and it's going to jog to the right, and we're not going to be no longer in the cone. And then the day before, they said, "Oh, we're in the cone." I said, "Well, I guess the high pressure didn't move fast enough." The next day or that evening, it had moved over and pulled that whole storm over because what the hurricanes will follow, they're a low pressure and they follow the high pressure because low is going to be pulled by the high. So what happens is like it was moving across, it's moving across this way, and the hurricane is out here. It's going to follow that that high. So, and if it dissipates, then it's open game. It's going to be wherever it goes. It's going low to low. Then
I will say we was coming home the day the storm was, going into Florida later on that evening. But anyway, we was coming home from somewhere. We was talking about, well, we probably ain't get no rain off this and blah, blah, blah. Had just a light wind. Temperature was perfect, but a few miles before you get to the house, which Ed, you've been through here, it goes like from woods to open fields to woods, open fields, and so on. But literally, you could see the edge of the storm looking through the fields. You could see beautiful blue skies over toward Mississippi. And over on the top of us, you could see just a perfect line almost of that outer edge of that feeder band starting to work its way in. Then it eventually just moseyed really close over towards y'all's way, and we ended up having I'm talking about a beautiful day, weather's perfect, and the whole shooting match. Just hate it for the folks in Florida, because any of y'all that knows has been through some of these hurricanes, especially major hurricanes, it's not just days of work. Them people's got years.
yeah, I mean, well, all we got really, we didn't really get much of anything where I'm at since we scooted out of that cone. We scooted out of that cone. We weren't out of the woods. We got a lot of rain, a lot of flood, a little bit of flooding, but nothing really that's going to destroy everything. But I picked up limbs out my yard. All I did yesterday. We went in a bunch of big limbs. They're all small, frail limbs that blew out the trees.
That's the most aggravating. Them little bitty limbs. You talk about driving a man to the wall.
When you said pick up a big one and dragging it,
Yeah. You got 30,000 twigs laid out there in the yard with green aprons on it. And the squirrels, they're confused because they don't know what happened to all their aprons. All of them's on the ground. But y'all don't tell anybody. Y'all want a little highlight on sneak peek?
It sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. Let me get y'all around here. Let me smash the button. Hold on.
There we go, buttons again.
Yeah. Oh, good. Right here we go. Don't look at the house. She's been cleaning for 2 days. Talking about don't look at the house. I don't know why she gets in uproar. She keeps a good house. Is it focusing good? Because it looks blurry on my end.
You look pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you can't see all the names, but got a good little stash there.
Hey, I'm gonna get her to turn this other light on real quick. See if that's a little better. a little bit. All right.
A lot of them are like stacked on top of each other. There's jars back there too. Yeah.
Somebody's going diabetic coma.
There is like 24, 25 entries this year, maybe even more.
And that's just running honey. That's
Yeah.
counting what y'all sent for
Cream honey.
cream honey.
So many people sent cream honey. We're doing a surprise category for cream honey this year.
But yeah. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's Philip there.
Those are all
Darren, I
Yeah.
believe, Pennsylvania. And then we got there's on Phil. There's Roy.
Roy. That's Carl.
It'd be Brad.
And all yours are back here.
Yeah, we got Carl sitting up here.
There's the unofficial winner.
Yeah, there's Ollie's winning honey.
Favorite.
J&D.
Yeah, that's the famous Nightberry. Joey. Patrick. Sarah. That's Russell Tootman. These are Spanky.
Well, Sarah finally got hers in, huh?
Sarah was the
She was
first
first.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought she was still waiting on her.
Let's see, Mr. Dan
Yeah,
Weaver.
Dan.
There's y'all competition, y'all right there. Mr. Dan Weaver.
Yes, that
Is
was
that
these two?
clear. That was some pretty honey. This stuff's almost clear.
Yeah, I
But
can't wait
there's
to.
a ton of honey.
All right, we'll flip this bad boy right back around here.
Give me a second, guys. I gotta step away for a minute.
Okay. Leaving us in charge. This thing's fixing to
Yeah.
derail.
Well, I planned for a derail anyways tonight, but
Catherine. Please, it's not-
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a line up this year. We doubled last year, and we only had 11 or 12 entries. So
There's a lot.
we'd say 24, 26 of them. Yes, there's no better. Hold on. Hey, there's some good competition in here this year. Trust me, we have tried every one of them, and
I'm so glad I don't have to.
that's it.
I'm so glad.
Because it would be like, well, this one, and this one is sweetness and taste, and this one is just full honey taste, and there couldn't be no way we could be honest about it without.
I couldn't pick. I rate them all the same. Because they're all really.
I'm anxious to see them in the cups again. I don't know any of y'all that was with us last year and all that, but we had a picture.
All different shades.
Yeah, had all them different colors in there, and kind of made for a nice picture. But we used it for last year's thumbnail for the honey tasting. We got it. And we got double this year, so I'm anxious to see that again, the different colors down through there, and not knowing who is who.
Ooh, Brian said we could have a special award for best jar lane. That's a because
Now-
there's some big labels too. I'm impressed.
Yeah, well, I can't say that because I would have a pick right off the top of my head. Okay,
Because you are babies.
yep. As far as labeling, I'll just go ahead and give that one.
Oh, you're a sweet man, Larry. He said off the back. That's like the first.
oh, you got yeah. Brian said something about having uh, for a jar label.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep that.
Uh-oh.
Okay. But I'm pretty sure folks have been keeping up with us and seeing one particular. I'd be more in favor of it.
We're excited for tomorrow too.
Yeah, I'm looking for tomorrow too, man. There's wondering who's gonna. I was wondering who's gonna fall out with Sugar's Rush.
Well, were we talking about it last week?
What?
About we didn't never realize, I guess, that Tim was reading up on I guess the guidelines for judging, but apparently they were swore. Have we talked about it? They just slosh it around in their mouth and taste it, and then spit it out in a cup.
Yep.
So they don't, contest where there's 200 entries. You're not eating that much money. So we're gonna give the pastor an option for a spit cup if he wants it.
Well, by the time he gets done, you probably won't have 2 tablespoons of honey. By the time what we put in the little cup and all that kind of good
Well,
stuff.
and tell you, I don't think the pastor will double and triple dip each sample like Mr. Donnie did.
Yeah, Mr. Donnie's going back, scraping that thing.
Look what Brian says. Before you know it, Gunline Honey Show rival Namby's.
Yeah, I was typing him back.
That's funny.
We was asked today, like, we were talking to Carl for a while with 2B brats, and I don't know, we talked with him probably 20, 30 minutes earlier today, but he's like, I just got a question. What in the world y'all going to do with all that honey? He said, well, since it doubled this year, we've come up. Yeah, I'm not going to give you one.
I thought she was fixing to spit it out. I was like, no, it's a surprise for tomorrow.
Carl's the only one that knows what it is, but you can spill the beans tomorrow. But I think we've come up with a pretty good
we think
idea.
We've got a good idea that everybody kind of get in.
I think
We're excited.
Yep.
It's getting to be like the night before the alcohol.
Now, everybody we've talked to in the last, say, this past week, they anxious, excited, had a couple try to, let's see how I could try to get it out of us which one would be the best, and I'll say, I'm not breaking the rules. You know, we can't judge on it. We're gonna let the preacher judge, and whoever the winner is, that's who it is.
Yeah, we're just doing the number system.
Yeah, we're just gonna make the numbers a little higher this year on that.
We're gonna go 1 to 10 instead of 1 to 5.
I bet you that Doubleberry blew some socks off.
Yeah. That stuff was really good. I was surprised, but it was really good.
That's why I told you earlier on before I sent it to hide it so Tim don't eat it all.
Oh, I know. It's going on the shelf with DC. Or the hiding spot with DC.
Yeah, she's got a
As
little,
soon as this is over.
like a little squirrel hiding aprons around here.
Yeah, Danae, he's throwing himself around and protesting. I didn't realize I could hear him. She said that's my buddy's face.
I think so. I'm trying to see still.
Yeah.
No, it's their time of night to start cranking up, because every evening about this time, especially like before we go live, we have to just let them out for 5 or 10 minutes, get it out the system, because if not, it'll be like you swear they were fighting in here, but I don't know what it is. The sun goes down, they won't start playing.
They reach that stretch rubber band length just far enough, and this guy has to let loose, and they have to run after each other.
Oh yeah, them two buddies now.
My cat loves hanging on me, and he's got some sharp nails. Gotta let him outside. I don't cut his nails. Gotta let him outside. He goes outside, comes back in, and I leave his nails sharp so that he can protect himself.
Yeah.
So he'll come over and he'll stretch on me like he's just like I go, oh, okay, but he has his nails out hanging on my leg. No, that hurts.
Yeah, I'm not your scratching post.
Yeah, it's funny. You have scratching posts and stuff around the house. You find something else to scratch on.
Are y'all seeing any kind of flow over that way? We just now starting to see a little bit of aster and goldenrod pop up around here the last few days.
Well, as I was telling him earlier, goldenrod's blooming here, and I've seen bees bringing in pollen, and so they're doing something. Even after the storm, they're out there today. They're out flying hard today. So maybe the goldenrod might produce something after all that rain we had this year, this season so far.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I've thought about those nail tippers that Jack and Danae talk about. I've tried them before. They only last a little while, and then they have to be recapped again. Yeah.
I don't think I did.
On cat claw, the dog. Things.
They don't last them long. There's a little rubber tip that goes on the cat's nail.
Hey, Ed,
So-
how's your father-in-law doing?
What was that?
How's your father-in-law doing?
Yeah, he's actually he's supposed to stay too. He had surgery on his neck to relieve the pressure on the discs in his back and stuff to get the spinal fluid flowing again. That's what was happening. He's losing actually some of his organs was trying to shut down, and he couldn't use his arms and stuff like that. So he had the surgery. They had him in rehab. He's supposed to be in the one for 2 weeks. They're moving him out, putting him into a different one, which he's supposed to stay, which is about a week by the time they get him there. He was in one rehab for a week and getting ready. It's a less intrusive rehab for another week, and he's doing better. So he's doing all right. Everybody thought he was going to pass away the way he was going, and they were like getting ready to start making plans, and it was like he went to the doctors, and they did one. Was it the CAT scan didn't show anything? It's the MRI had to show. It showed that the fluid was being restricted greatly in his neck, going down his spine, which is causing problems. It's amazing how much spinal fluid will affect your body. Yeah.
Oh, well, that getting fixed up. Remedy that.
Yeah, and he shouldn't. It won't be long till he's home again. And they were worried. I imagine why they were worried because my dad just passed, not long ago, and now she said, now I know how you felt. I said, well, I can't explain how it feels to go through it, And she thought she was going to lose him, and she was all worried about it. I just had to be there, Uh-oh, DC looks like he's trying to send you a bribe. That picture he's got going on looks like he's trying to send a bribe through the messaging system.
You know, do like Mr. JW and sent by email.
Yeah, I still love that movie script money you guys got sent.
Gosh. Wait till tomorrow night.
Oh, have I got one for you?
We can spoil surprises for tomorrow night, y'all.
I'm not gonna get in. We walked around. Once again, I'm watching you watching me Walmart. And
Yeah.
did it say who it was that sent that?
They said the most useful price was 10 cents.
Thank you, Danae. I appreciate that.
That may have been Jack. I'm not
Not
sure. That was a good one.
sure where to go with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lost your train of thought.
Yeah. Where's it?
Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart. Well, we had to go in
Okay.
and get some cups and get some little taste testing spoons and things like that. And, I told her, I said, hold up. I said, there's one more thing I want to try to find around here. And we walked around and we went to this one section in Walmart. And I was looking, and there's no reason for me to be in this section. Kind of thing. She's like, why are we even in this part? I said, I'm looking for something. Hold on. Walked down 4 aisles, could not find it. I was like, dadgummit.
We walked down those 4 aisles at least twice. She
Well, I told her, I said, I don't know if I should ask anybody about this or not. Because it could lean either way, like far as somebody looking at me.
It could be taken the wrong way. Seriously wrong way.
So I kept my mouth shut, and I didn't tell her for a good while running through there. And she's like, I don't know what to look for if you're not telling me. Then finally I told her what it was. And she's like, oh, good.
I like, don't dare ask somebody if that's in the
We ended up finding what I was looking for. It took a few minutes, and so we got that to put on for this one particular
gift.
gift.
It was-
Yeah. I think y'all get a kick out of.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
We're in
Either that or
trouble.
Tim's in trouble. Either we're in trouble or Tim's in trouble. One of the two.
Uh-oh. I ain't done it.
Well, I'm talking about you talking about doing it.
Oh, yeah. No, nobody's in trouble. I think it's just gonna be a really good one.
Oh, it's gonna be a hilarious laugh because whenever we got the entry in, we seen the name on it. We was kind of expecting something, but I wasn't expecting this at all. And whenever we opened up the box up and looked, and we seen said bribe,
They outdid themselves.
I started dying laughing, and I texted him, and I can tell you the rest of the story tomorrow about what I texted him, but me and him had a good laugh back and forth about it. But I think, like I say, I think y'all probably get a pretty good laugh out of it.
We have sufficiently derailed the honeybee. And it ain't
Yeah,
hard.
Yeah, DC's talking about making jams and stuff.
Thinking of that, let me tell y'all something. Brother Larry's strawberry, whatever. My word. One of them Louisiana Cajuns that lives over here now. Y'all hear us talk about him, old brother Quibido. We went and helped them do a little around their house a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "What'll I owe you?" I said, "Brother Larry," I said, "you don't know what nothing." He said, "Well, hold on." They went inside and grabbed us a little something out of his homemade pantry back there, where he cans just about everything. And he said, "Y'all try this." And he gave us that what a pair.
He made like
Let
a
me go
homemade
get
pear butter, but he put strawberry, what do you say, Jello mix in it. And oh my gosh, that was some of the best stuff I've had in a long time. It was so good. It's in the fridge. I opened it. I can't stick it back in the cabinet after you open it.
All right,
Dude,
we lost him.
Look at that.
That's
Man,
an interesting color.
it
you
looks
talk
more
about
pinky
good.
at
Wow,
first. It was good.
make your tongue slap your eyes out, kind of thing. Told her, so we got to get that recipe, and once she gets that figured out, we'll do a video on it. But man, this stuff is good.
You said he used strawberry jello in it?
Yeah, like the Jello mix, the powder. But all
Yeah.
we did was put the powder, the flavor mix in there. Like didn't actually make the Jello, just pour
Yeah,
the
he used it for the gluten content on it to get it set.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
pretty
He
much.
just said he mixed it in and then did the water bath before the jars to seal them up or whatever. So he said he cooked the pears down first
Mm.
and made the butter and then mixed the Jello and then jarred it up and done the water bath. He's talking about picking coffee.
I heard that. Any kind of
Huh.
good picture.
Yeah, DC's talking about putting the berries in whole berries into the honey like people do garlic. That's what I did with this. Oh, where's my camera? There it is. I'm fermenting some garlic. That's been going maybe 3 weeks now. It's through bubbling, so I don't know whether if it's done yet or not.
Oh, Lee can tell you for sure on that garlic and honey. We've talked to him several times about doing some too, and yeah, he got his a little stockpile of it, if you will.
Huh.
Now Darren sent us some. I guess that's probably what it is there. I have to ask Darren for sure, but Pennsylvania, Darren,
He sent a regular garlic honey and
hot
a spicy garlic honey. But he put a little note on there that the spicy garlic was really good on pizza.
yeah, it had a. I could see where it would taste good on some pizza for sure.
I'm still waiting to blend this up. Spanky ain't here again tonight. This stuff to cut with my honey.
I still can't believe we were trying that stuff thinking that was just the honey. I had no idea it was concentrated.
It is honey in here, but
Yeah.
that stuff got a little bit of a bite to it.
Well, where we got things backwards is whenever you was on our live the other night, talking about you had instructions for it and to add this to a jar, honey, and so on and so forth. And whenever I had said, well, I guess we missed the directions. Well, come find out, I'm sounding like a clown thinking you got to mix it whenever Spanky come back the next day and put a paragraph or two in there saying, Tim, what I sent you, you don't mix in like that. It's just so happened to be that particular year, they dried the honey down so much that it had a molasses look and texture to it. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Oh, okay. So that's why you didn't get that information. Okay.
that's why I didn't get the memo. Yep. You want to talk to me for a minute while we go put chickens up? You wanna put chickens up?
Spanky's a trip though. Sometimes he gets into a lot of stuff. I like a lot of stuff he gets into. So DC says his honey helps heal. I'm sure all of our honey does heal a bit. Danae talking about her granny does the best apple butter in all the Midwest.
Ooh.
I love some good apple butter. So
I had an uncle that every year, which for the folks, I guess it's kind of be more for the Alabama people, but to understand, we're a house divided when it comes to football, especially during the Iron Bowl. All right, I'm Alabama. Her family over there, they're War Eagle. So we had that little clash each year. But I remember my uncle used to make some of the best doggone pork and beans or baked beans. And for years and years, people would ask him, what in the world separates your baked beans from store-bought kind of stuff? And he said, well, it's a secret. I can't tell y'all. And he didn't tell nobody for a long time. Then finally, I guess him getting in the latter part of his years, he finally come up with the recipe. And whenever he made his homemade barbecue, the secret ingredient he held for probably 30 years was apple butter. He said, I'll throw 2 or 3 good globs of that apple butter in there and mix all that in. And just give it that little bit of extra sweetness on top of I guess that barbecue as well. But man, you talk about a good batch of beans.
that's why when people make the baked beans, they use that apple smoke, bacon. It tastes so good.
Mm-hmm.
It adds to that sweetness. I love apple smoked bacon and some stuff. Then reusing that grease and the beans and peas and stuff like that. Yep.
Pouring a big old pot of turnip greens.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
I like using that bacon grease to fry them greens down before I start to stew them up. And I throw one of them. Then I take one of them ham bones, throw a ham bone in there. Not just these, I'm talking about the shank. I'm not talking about the smoked stuff. That stuff tastes cold. You got me wanting something different than I'm already eating.
No, I mean, we do the same thing. Like when it gets like Thanksgiving and Christmas time, there's a lot of folks which nobody likes to cook anymore, but Hannah enjoys cooking. She can make a meal I'm talking about. But when we get done with, a ham or whatever it is, Thanksgiving and Christmas time, she'll count them out of it, stick that ham bone in the freezer, and a couple months down the road, she'll throw a good pot of lima beans in, and boom, that ham bone goes in there, and my goodness.
I'll purposely leave some of the fat and the meat on the bone because the fat's the good part. Fat equals flavor. You take all the fat out the food, it ain't got no flavor no more.
Yeah, she just puts that on my plate. Here, you have that. Especially all some fried pork chops.
We're running out of time. And they said Joey's coming off in 6 minutes.
Mm-mm.
That means I'm gonna have to get off, I guess. Actually, I've been on for about
Like rotating days. Yeah, where we're gonna have two live streams a day with everybody.
Well, I came in early than I usually do, so that gave me some time. I could bow down for Joey, let him do his live.
It was good to see you coming on for a live again. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I know I've been under the gun by a lot of things, and it's just that I know I need to get on. I know I need to do this stuff, but too many things got in the way.
And I didn't mean it like trying to pressure you. I was just
No.
saying, it's good to see you.
Y'all get it.
Well, that's why I kept jumping on yours. I didn't have the time to actually do one. I'd come on and join y'all for a while, so people wouldn't forget what I look like. But hey, did you see that picture on that post that I put out? I sent a post out earlier before I did the live. It's got a picture. It's actually a painting that somebody in California did of me or for me. It has, I sent them took a picture of myself and then sent them my logo, and that's what they did with it. They put it all together and made a painting. I think it came out pretty good. But all right, since Joey's getting ready to come on, what's that?
You talking about what you put on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen that, man. I'm thinking about the other social media.
No, I thought I'd post that out there because I thought it was really interesting that they took. It took them I gave them the pictures about a week ago, and I didn't know that's what they were going to do. She does artwork, and I've been dealing with her doing some gold option financing and stuff like that, and pop that out, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're pretty talented. But, well, I will let you guys go tonight, and so that we don't cut into Joey. I don't want my numbers going and dropping either any lower. So I'll see you guys. Be good, behave. Yep. Be good, behave, beehive. Until next time, I love y'all.
Love y'all too. Y'all take care.